Hello and welcome to this video series where we're checking out submissions to the Dungeoncrawler Gamejam of 2023. This time we will have a look at Dungeons of Mana, Lebab, by Platypus Gems. Two adventurers enter the dungeon for their goals, one a warrior, one a mage. The theme of duality is present through there being two characters that need each other to survive. If one of them dies, it's game over, and in the second part they gain abilities that complement each other. Sounds interesting. It was also going to be present narratively, as those who built the dungeon fell to their sins, while the heroes are driven forward by theirs. But I wasn't able to satisfactorily place it within the time limit. Alright, so the screenshots look interesting, and with that, let's jump into the game. Here we are. It looks a bit weird, because, yeah, this is the size the game starts in, but if I maximize the window, it looks like this. But in the game it will be like when we're moving around it will fix itself again. So I already started up the game before. Let's start a new game. Long ago, 7 kings have tried to dig their way into hell, to wage the holiest crusade against all that is unholy and slay Satan himself. Very weird noise for appearing text that sounds more like phone and nobody's answering. As they dug each and everyone from lowly serfs to kings themselves succumbed to vices, until only one prideful king continued digging, alone his fate unknown. What they've dug has become known as Dungeon of Lebab, filled with devil worshippers. Now 2 persons enter the dungeon, one a squire from humble origins on a pilgrimage seeking to prove himself the worthiest in spite of his conditions that did not allow him the finest gear and education of his peers. Conditions always sounds like he's sick or something. The other, yellow sage, that has studied forbidden knowledge to gain strength for vengeance against those who wronged her. Alright, enter. And yeah, that's something interesting. So we can only see parts of the dungeon with like everything is dark, and where we have the cursor it's light. Yes, it's also not following my cursor here. I'm just checking if the cursor is where you see it is, because I had some issues before. I was capturing the game before as a game in OBS, and I have never seen that before. The game is made in Godot. That a game was recorded in OBS upside down, and I think it was mirrored. And then the cursor appeared on my recording as upside down, while I had to fix everything else, and it was very weird. So now I'm capturing it as a window, and it works. What you can see here already, which is interesting, is that this game uses thin walls. So it's not one tile, which is a full wall, but it's the side of the wall, which is full. And in this case, they left out, or he or she left out, like the corner of the thin wall, so that you can look into the wall on this side. Let's check what we've got here. We have got our interface with some healing potion. Unfortunately, it's a bit hard to read with black on dark gray. There's right click, which I think is not supposed to be here. And we can switch between 2 characters. The graphics are nice. Okay. I cannot close that with I. By the way, that's also something I saw, like, for example, with older spiderweb games. You should always be able to to close the inventory by pressing I. If you can open it with I, you should be able to close it with I. Alright. Let's move forward. So we have instant transitions here. And we have some enemy, and now we got a sword, and we can just... Yeah, unfortunately, there's no sound. I mean, we had this beeping noise in the beginning. And F was interact. Yeah, there's also noise for picking that up. Okay. All clear. So regarding the perspective, let me quickly... Yeah, you can clearly see that on the left side there is a way we can go to. And on the right side it's blocked. So I think the perspective is fine. However, of course, if you have to put the light there, I think that's a bit unnecessarily annoying. I don't see the point of having that. We have target torso, okay. Okay. More library stuff. And regarding the controls, the think inputs are ignored. So if we move forward, we keep moving forward. That's actually, it's checking the forward button again. Oh, again and again. Yeah, the combat doesn't feel great. So that's nice. You can hold the button to keep moving forward. Die. If we go forward and then right, we only go... Ah, no. That's interesting. Okay, that's also a first time. So if we move forward and then right, one after another, very, like, with some delay, forward, right, it does what we expect. But if we go forward, right, the game will turn right first and then go forward. So the turning has priority over the forward movement, which is not a thing you'd want to have. Obviously, they should be either executed the time they are pressed, or alternatively, I think I would execute the forward first and then the turning in all cases. Yeah, because it will not happen that you turn first and then at the very same second you also move forward. So yeah, forward and turning results into turning and then forward, which is odd. But if you're slow enough, it will not make a difference. So we have to put this red thing on the enemy, and then we can hit. I don't quite see the point. And these seem to be just random encounters. Oh, we have two things here. Punch and... Ah, if I click button 2, we get punch instead of thrust. So we have a damage modifier of 0.25, a simple punch. But of course you would want to use the sword with higher damage. Yeah, this is the combat doesn't feel great. Oh, we can cut off his arm. That's interesting. I also don't see yet the different point of the characters. Oh, who was that? What a weird sound. Maybe you can attack the... Ah, yeah, target right arm. That's a very interesting concept. I'm just not so sure if it's working out. So the game basically died. We cannot go back. Ah, no, we are back to title. Alright. New game. No, it's still down. Okay, let's... We got 6,000 points as our score. Let's see if we can do better. But, yeah, it's a bit rough. New game. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. Description, may cut limbs off. Let's go this other direction first. F. 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 Can we run around, away from enemies or something? Is this another? Ah, no, okay. So we will... Oh, this is another room. No, we cannot move away. Maybe the healing, the potions, they are different on each run. We have a shared inventory. Unfortunately, we cannot put them in this quick slot thing. I'm not even sure how to use that. Ah, here's the use icon or one thing. Okay, I think we start with 4,000 points. Weird. Okay. Yeah, this feels weird with the aiming. Let me try and... Yeah, even if I play that in the original window size, it does not follow the cursor. So it's basically a shadow cursor, or whatever you want to call it. And it feels like I need to... I can't... Oh. Did I need to use that 2 times now? It feels like I need to aim on the enemy. Ah, no, maybe it's just the body section. Only a couple of body sections work. Is this a... Is the wall? Can we actually see the sword somewhere? No. I'm quite sure that I've seen from Discord that I saw some presentation or some clip where the character was equipping a sword. So, but apparently maybe that's not in the game then. This is where we are starting from. So yeah, the controls, they have a bit of a delay. I think it's not checking the controls that quickly. And this might have been done for the so that the forward button is only checked every now and then, and not so that, that you can hold it. But I think instant movement with no delay would have been better. So now we hit on the right side, completely to the right. Well, his right side. For us, it was left. And we were still hitting his arm, even though I completely clicked past that. So we have a score of 4,000. How do we get more score? And I don't see that this light here is adding anything to the game. Here's this dude again. We can try to cut off his arm. Right arm. Slash. Okay. I'm not sure. Okay. Depending on where you use it, you have a difference. You have either slash or I don't quite get it by when we got which. Why do we have slash sometimes and sometimes not? Also, we cannot aim for the head for some reason. Belt, we can, okay. The foe lies defeated, the path ahead clear. After a moment of rest and recuperation, adventurers venture forth. Through battle, they've learned and gained new abilities. The pilgrim has learned to provoke the enemies to keep their companion from harm. They've also become more able to resist blows from adversaries. Yellow Sage, in turn, has learned how to channel their magic to create protective aura. Delve deeper. Yes, okay, but doesn't seem like we can use any of that. We can maybe use some healing potion now on the Sage. I'm not sure why, who was getting some damage, but it's not doing much. Oh, that was the wrong one. Oh, with healing potions we can heal more than we actually have in hit points. Now we have provoke on the third one. Okay. Let's use some potions here. Or one. Okay. Dead end. Tin Man. Maybe we can destroy the arm again. Oh, okay. Now we need to aim for this, apparently. Can we open the inventory during fights? Yes. The sword is gone. Oh, there it is again. After defeating the Idol of Wrath, the Yellow Sage found archives of ancient lore describing secret rituals that would grant her all the power she needed. The pilgrim, meanwhile, felt satisfied with the enemies slain and would gain much fame after returning from the dungeon with the spells. Alright, and with that, we won the game. Okay. Okay, so I think there are quite a few of very interesting... well, basically, the combat is quite an interesting concept with the with aiming for the body parts, and you also have these two characters who have different roles. However, I don't think that I mean, obviously the implementation is very glitchy. So, yeah, that's obviously the main problem here. That it does feel like a very early prototype. Why is this guy naked? Yeah, why is he in the wall? I don't think we can actually. We don't seem to do any damage, so we will probably die now. Yeah. I also cannot move away. Okay, well, let's die. Yes, regarding the perspective, I think it was fine. Regarding the movements, there is a... Is it not? Is that turn-based? No. It's just broken. Okay, let me... Let me restart the game. Okay. Okay, we are back. I'm not sure of the point of having to light this. I think this might have been an interesting effect in theory, but in practice it doesn't look like it's more annoying than it's actually contributing to anything. The perspective was... I'm also not a fan of randomly popping up enemies. The perspective is fine, or would be fine, if you didn't have this, because that makes orientation worse. The camera could be a little bit more back so that you could also see the floor and then more clearly see where you can go left and right, but the way it is, you could already see that. The movement could be a little bit more responsive. It works, but you have to be... You can't do it too fast, and for instant movement, you usually want to do it very quickly. Yeah, regarding the combat, I think the idea of aiming for the different body parts is actually quite cool. And I remember that I liked that in... Let me check. Yeah, that was a game from the 90s, Evil Islands, where you also had this, where you could aim on different body parts. And I'm liking it since then. You hardly see that. I mean, of course, with Jagged Alliance, for example, you can also add aim for the head. And I'm not sure. Yeah, aim head for torso, I think. I'm not quite sure if you could aim for the legs. I think you can. But that's always a cool idea. And it can add a tactical depth, like in this case here, cutting off the arm, which did work with the first encounter, and also with the second boss, where you have to wait until the chest was free, so you can stick your sword into the armor there. So that was a very cool idea. I think the execution is just very glitchy. It doesn't feel right. Just like having the cursor here, like the cursor not at the point where this red thing is, feels weird already. Having this hand floating around, there are several things which just feel very weird and glitchy. So same goes for the inventory, where you can copy paste text writing direction. That's probably all not supposed to be in there. We have a score, which is never explained. We have a wealth, which is not implemented. So yeah, everything basically screams that the game is not finished, not even for like the jam for a presentation purpose, which is very unfortunate. So yeah, maybe a few more days would have helped this developer to polish this and make that a better experience. Maybe there will be an updated version, but for now I think there is not. This is the only available version right now. Yeah, the content also very slim. There's not much you can do. I mean, there are two 2 normal enemy types plus 2 bosses, so okay. Not a lot to explore in the dungeon. The duality theme is done by having, well, these 2 characters, maybe by the 2 bosses, but it's not a strong point, at least not with the depth of where stuff is implemented, because right now we could have just walked around with just 1 character and it would have made no difference, because the mage didn't do anything, right? We couldn't use any spells or anything like that, so there was no point in having the mage. So I think this game would really have profited from another day or 2 for the jam and some additional work put into that. But it is what it is, so maybe there will be an updated version. If you want to check it out, you will find a link down in the video description. Dungeons of Mana Lebab by Platypus Gems. And if you're interested in seeing more videos about the jam, the game jam, not gem, then you can also check out the playlist with all the videos I published so far. And of course, you can also subscribe to the channel to not miss any future videos. And with that, thank you for watching and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.